Per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only, is not intended as financial advice. In the second video of the Kraken Pro tutorial series, sponsored by Kraken, let's take a look at my preferred settings that I use on the platform here. It's because I'm heavily visually oriented. I certainly prefer the chart to be the predominant UI here. Just like TradingView on the chart, we can double click any of the panes here to maximize them. So if you want to get rid of the volume, or if you want to move the volume to the existing pane like that. And of course we can, change all these settings as well. We want to change the colors, the appearance. I like as black as possible with the line being bright white and thick. And you can also maximize this even further using the maximize or minimize of the window itself on the UI. And I also usually like to separate out my balance as a standalone box here. Sometimes it's hard if you're trading in between multiple currencies, you've got multiple stable coins, you don't know up from down, and the order form's telling you don't have XYZ currency. It's always a good idea just to make sure you have the balances you think you have as you're trading here. And what we can also do is hide small balances using the cog here. And if you have a bunch of dust, basically it'll get rid of that, clean that up. Also within the balances tab, you'll notice when you're on ETH, it'll bring that to the top for the selected market. If we go to Bitcoin, that'll change the selected market. So again, that way you can also just always see at a glance what your balance is for that specific market. You'll also notice that switching in between these tabs, your UI settings here will remain the same, so you don't have to input them over and over again. I even like to maybe make this a little bit smaller. Some people may prefer the order form, in here even. We can do that depending on your screen real estate. Depending on, your zoom, right? Your resolution, you can get kind of crazy with this. So how this looks is highly dependent on you as the trader. It's going to be unique per person. Definitely recommend playing around with all of these tabs and modules. Let's say we want our order forms on the side here, and maybe you like a vertical order form instead of, open orders instead of what you see here. If you've got margin positions, you'll see that in this tab. We can always get rid of all these tabs, right? You can look at previous trades. One other useful thing with the orders tab here, as an order is filling, you'll see that in the progress tab. Let's say you have an order at a certain level, it should have been filled, right? Why isn't it completed yet? That's probably because it's getting hit and it's in progress. Another really cool thing with the mobile app, the companion app, again, if you're like on the go or you're not at your computer, you will get mobile notifications if you have them enabled once your orders have been filled. That way you always know what's going on, right? If you're randomly somewhere and you're thinking, okay, price is moving, I should be filled, there'll be no question about that because you'll get that mobile notification. And for me, I certainly prefer, looking at my selected favorites rather than any of these other drop downs, but occasionally, I dabble into the alt side of things. Some alts up significantly today. And then also important is, how do you get money on the exchange? If we go into the wallet icon in the deposit section, let's say we wanted to send Bitcoin, we could deposit that to the exchange. In Bitcoin's case, they have two options here, either the Bitcoin network itself or Lightning, one of the few exchanges that has Lightning enabled. You'll see the processing time, max deposit size. Same thing with withdrawals here. We can withdraw to Lightning if we wanted to. For other currencies, it is extremely important. Let's go to Tether, for example. Extremely important we get the correct network here. So if you've got Tether on Tron, you don't want to send it to a Polygon address, right? Because it'll just never arrive, or it'll look like it's there, it won't show up. So this is incredibly important, potentially confusing for newer crypto people, but you just have to make sure it's being sent to the correct network address, especially because the addresses look effectively the same. One other useful tab here I'll mention is just a simple market order. Let's say we wanted to market buy instead of limit a specific amount of a cryptocurrency. We can select our market, and if we wanted to buy a specific amount based on the quantity here, we can do that quickly without necessarily typing in a bunch of stuff in an order form. So as you start to get a handle on the new UI, you'll find out what's best for you and what you want to see. I certainly always want to know where my orders are. If I need to, for example, cancel all my orders, I can do that quickly, right? But I always want to know where my orders are, what my balances are. And then for me, this third window here on the bottom is sort of a wildcard variable, but definitely want to see the chart. Also nice to see where your orders are here. You can see those tiny green arrows. Those are the icons telling you where your trades have occurred. So that's all for this one. Let me know if you have any questions about the UI in the comments below, and happy trading.